Alright, so in this video we're going to go ahead and cover how to set up our ads and how to get everything going, and kind of just walking you guys through everything when it comes to creating our ads. So usually when I run ads, I like to run ads on Facebook. So I'm going to show you guys exactly how I set up everything, how I do everything, and yeah. So the first thing is when we go to our Facebook Ads Manager, so it'll look like a screen like this. This is where we're going to actually set up our ads and where we'll manage our ads. And we'll be able to keep track of everything, all of our stats for our ads, everything like that. So the first thing that we're gonna go ahead and do is click on create. And then it's gonna ask us what type of campaign we wanna do. So we're gonna create our campaign, obviously. So we have sales, app promotion, leads, engagement, traffic, awareness. Obviously, we're gonna go ahead and do sales because we want people to see our product and go to our website and actually buy our product. So we're gonna do sales, click on continue, wait for this to load. Then we need to just name our campaign. So I'm gonna do something like, let's just do campaign 1, right? Obviously name it something a little bit better, but just for now, I'm just gonna do campaign 1. We're gonna come down. Now we have two options for how we want to actually set up our budget. We have the campaign budget and then we have the ad set budget. So with the campaign budget, essentially what it'll do is we set say we're to do a $50 campaign budget. That means this campaign will be spending $50 every single day. And what will happen is inside of the campaign, we will also have ad sets. So say we had a total of 3 ad sets. It'll take that $50 from the campaign and it'll split them among the 3 ad sets that we have, but it'll go to the one that's performing the best. So say out of the 3 ad sets, we have ad set number 1, we have ad set number 2, and we have ad set number 3. Say that number 3 is performing the best, that $50 from the campaign budget will mainly be spent on ad set number 3 because that's the one that's performing the best. And then we also have our ad set budget. So say we created a campaign and then inside of that campaign we have our ad sets. What we can do is set budgets for each individual ad set. So say we wanted to just spend $25 each on each individual ad set. That means we would be spending a total of $75. So it's a way to evenly distribute how much we're spending on each ad set. But for me, typically I like to just go with the campaign budget and have the Facebook algorithm just pick and determine which one is performing the best, because again, these algorithms are so good at finding which ad set and which kind of group of people are kind of engaging the best with our ads and kind of which people are actually watching our ads, right? So I usually like to have just Facebook almost do everything when it comes to this, because again, the algorithm is just so good and Facebook wants you to make money when it comes to running ads, because the thing is, if you are making money with your e-com store, then obviously you're going to continue to spend money on ads. If you are running ads and you're not making any money, then obviously you're going to stop spending money on these ads. You're just going to be losing money, right? Whereas if you're putting out an ad and now that ad is making you money, obviously you're not going to stop running the ads. So you're going to continuously be giving money to Facebook so that you can continuously make more money, right? It's kind of a mutual benefit, or you guys are helping each other out, right? You're obviously paying Facebook, but they're also giving you money back in terms of giving you customers, right? And you're able to make money from that. And obviously if you stop spending money on ads, then Facebook stops making money, right? And obviously they don't want that. They want to obviously continue to make more money with ads. So they are going to try their best to make sure that your ads are performing the best and making you sales and making you money, right? Their goal isn't to not make you money. The entire goal for them is to have you make money so that you can continue to give them more money to show your ads out to people, right? Little kind of a rant that I went on how kind of like the ads work and how the algorithms work, and kind of just why I recommend always just like having Facebook not like run, but like I like to just have the algorithm for Facebook pick who is or where the money's going and who's being shown the videos, things like that, right? So I'll usually go with a campaign budget. You can kind of set a daily budget. For testing, I like to spend around like $25 a day. This is a good kind of like test. If you really want to get aggressive with your testing, you can go up to $50 a day. It's really just up to you, but I'll just leave it at $25 a day for our campaign budget. We come down some more. We have our budget scheduling and ad scheduling, but I'm just going to leave that as is. We have our A/B testing. I'm not going to touch that. Special ad categories, I'm not going to touch that either. And this will be everything for our campaign, right? So we have the campaign budget for $25 and no ad set budget. So then we're going to go ahead and click on next, and then we're going to create an ad set name. So we're just going to do ad set 1 and then leave that as is. And then conversion and location. So this will be on website and if we go ahead and scroll down, you should see where it says single, and then you go ahead and just click on website, right? We want people to go ahead and go over to our website and buy, right? And then the performance goal should be maximize number of conversions, right? We want to try and get the most amount of people to get to our store and buy, right? And then our conversion event will be, let's see, it will be purchase. So now we have our conversion event. So when somebody buys, that's what we're kind of optimizing for. We also need to set up our pixel, right? So we have our pixel right here. I'm receiving the activity of conversions. You select all. So, okay, we're just gonna leave that as is. So now we have kind of what we're looking to do, right? What we're aiming or what we want Facebook to kind of look for when it comes to who we're looking for in audience. So again, we are looking to maximize the number of conversions. We want to get people to our website, and the conversion that we are trying to get is getting people to purchase. Come down some more. Usually all this stuff right here I leave blank. Budget and schedule. You can usually just schedule. I usually just like to have my ads run immediately. I don't have an end date. I usually just let it run, and then I just manually turn them off if I want to turn them off. Audience, same exact thing. I like to leave a blank audience when it comes to, in terms of like very specific things. When it comes to locations though, I do like to do other locations besides the United States. So I'll do like Canada right here. Another one is Australia right there. Other one is the United Kingdom. So we have Australia, we have Canada, we have the United Kingdom, and we have the United States. These are usually the locations that I go with because these are typically more kind of like first world countries. So more people would tend to buy from these types of countries. So yeah, I mean, for the most part, I've seen most of the traffic I tend to get is going to be from the US, but I have seen cases where people are getting a ton of traffic from like the UK or Australia, right? More than the US or Canada, right? So, but yeah, these are usually the locations I usually run. Now, the other thing is if you are selling a product, maybe it's a beauty product or something like that, you can also turn off the option to where it's showing to men. So you can make it where this ad is only being shown to women. So you can do that as well. So if you go and suggest an audience, you can see here, we can kind of like switch. So if I want to change the gender, I can switch it to just women, right? Because maybe I'm selling just a woman product. Age is another thing. Usually if your product is maybe for older people, you can set it to where maybe it's like 35 to 65. Now the only thing is when you're doing things like that, you are narrowing your audience, making it a lot smaller. So it does make it a little bit harder to kind of find an audience of people that would want to buy. So because you are cutting down a big chunk of people that could be shown this ad. But again, usually I like to have Facebook kind of just take control of all of these things because it'll find who is engaging with the ad, right? It'll find who's actually watching the ads, and then it'll end up showing it to more of those types of people, right? It'll look to see who is watching this ad and who is buying from this ad, and let me show it to more people like this. Because if it shows it to more people like this that are buying the products, right, then we're going to end up making more money, and then we'll end up continuing to spend money on Facebook, right? Again, they are trying to help us. We need to make sure that we're always remembering that Facebook is trying to get our ads to perform well and to make money with our ads, right? They don't want our ads to perform poorly, because if they do perform poorly, then they don't make any money because we're going to stop paying money for ads. And then when it comes to everything else, this looks all good in terms of the ad set placements. I leave that as is. Ad transparency, leave that as is. I'm going to go ahead and click on next now. And now this is going to be the creative itself. So I'm just going to do ad one. Obviously you want to change it and do like a real name for it, but I'm just going to leave this as is. We're going to do this page right here that I've created, and then we can also use a Facebook page when it comes to the identity. So I'm just going to leave this as is right here. We already have this set up. You can also go ahead and just select, or if you want to select or connect your Instagram account, you can go ahead and do that. You can also do threads, which is kind of newer. It's kind of like that Twitter app, if you guys have seen. And then the ad setup, so we can also create an ad. We can use an existing post or Creative Hub mockup, which I've never used before. I usually either just create an ad or use an existing post if I connect it with my Instagram or Facebook. So, but for this one, I'm just going to do a manual upload, so I'm just going to leave it on create ad. If you want to use an existing post, so say you posted something on Instagram and you want to run that as an ad, you would use existing posts. But for this one, we're just going to do create an ad. I'm going to do manual upload. Format, we're gonna do flexible, and then, or actually we're gonna do single image or video, because we're gonna have a video that we're gonna upload. Come down some more. This is where we're gonna go ahead and paste the link to our store. So you'll grab the link to your store and then put it in there. So I'm gonna do that really quickly. So I'm gonna go ahead and paste the link to the store now. Make sure that the link to that is also going to be the product page. You wanna make sure that you're not sending people to your homepage, because if they land on your homepage, there's nowhere for them to buy. You need to make sure that you're showing the person the product and you're immediately sending them to the page where they can check out the product immediately. We don't want to send them to a homepage, then they're gonna get lost and they go somewhere else and then they'll end up leaving the website and not buying. So we need to make sure that you're grabbing the link to the product page itself. That way they're directly going to the product. Scroll down some more, we'll see where it says add creative and then set up creative. We're gonna click on that. I'm gonna do video ad. And then we should see here, we have all this stuff right here that's gonna ask us. I'm just gonna leave it and click on next. And then we have our ads right here. So I'm just gonna click on this one, click on next. And then it'll show us kind of like how they're gonna look, our placements. So I'm gonna click on next again. Now our primary text, so what we want to kind of like write on the ad as well. So click the button to get 20% off now, right? And then this will tell people that if they click the button, they go ahead and get 20% off right now. And then we also have the call to action. So this is where we're this is what the button will actually say. So we have order now, which is a good one. Shop now is a good one as well. We also have learn more, which I don't really like too much. I think that's pretty much everything with that. But usually I'll go with either order now or shop now. I typically probably tend to go with shop now more than order now, because I feel like some people sometimes will see order now and they think that as soon as they click the button, it's gonna automatically order it. So people are might be more hesitant to do that. So if we do shop now, they know it's just gonna bring them to the page. So I'll do shop now and then leave that as is. So I'll click on next. And then enhancements. So usually all this stuff, I just leave it as is. Add video effects, I'll turn that off. Video touch up, I'll turn that off. And then the text improvements, I'll turn that off. Or actually we'll leave this one on actually instead. Other active enhancements, so adapt multi-image, images as animated video slideshows. So we don't have any images, so we can just leave that as is. Add product tags, I'm just gonna leave that off. Enhance CTA, so we have where it'll kind of like say a little message where it says tap to start shopping. So I'm gonna just leave that off as well. I don't want to do any of that. We're gonna leave that there. So then we have now one of our ads here as well. We then have the carousel. So we want it to just collection, just show site links, right? We don't want it to be showing off these other products. We want people to go to the link that we have set up. We don't want them to get straight to anything else. We want them to go to our product page so that they can go ahead and check out the product and then check out. Come down some more. We have our primary text, headline, description. This stuff you just leave blank. If you want to write like a headline, you can do this exact same thing as well. It's really up to you. I usually just do the primary text, and this will be the text that's above. So click the button to get 20% off now. Obviously, you want to write a little bit more than that. You want to write a little bit like more descriptive. So maybe we do something like, let's just say, because the brand is called Sula Skin, so we'll do like Sula Skin, 20% off. Let's just say it's like a Christmas holiday, so Christmas sale, click the button to get yours now, right? Something like that. That way we're letting people know there's a 20% off sale for this product, gives a little bit of urgency. Or maybe we can add a little bit more urgency saying that the Christmas sale ends on a certain date, right? So Sula Skin, 20% off Christmas sale ends tomorrow. Click the button to get yours now. Something like that. And then boom. Right, so we're going to be telling people that this is a sale for 20% off and they need to go ahead and click the button to get theirs now. So then once we have that, we're just going to come down some more. We have our pixel right here. And then the last thing I'm going to go ahead and do is just do publish. And then that will get our ad publishing. And then what we're going to do from here is I'm going to duplicate this ad right here. Or actually what I'm going to do is So I'm going to come over to the ad and I'm going to duplicate this 3 more times because we have a total of 4 creatives. So I'm going to do 3 copies and then I'm going to leave it on the original campaign, click duplicate, And then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna scroll down. Everything I'm gonna leave the exact same way that it is, except I'm going to change out this ad and I'm gonna switch it for this one right here. Click continue, and then I'm gonna come down some more, click publish, and then, so this is the one that we just changed, so I'm actually gonna change the name really quickly. I almost forgot to do that. So change the name, add 2, and then we're gonna come over to this one, add 3. I'm gonna change this one real quick, add 4. And now we're gonna switch the creatives themselves. So I'm gonna come down some more, go over to where the creative is. So that's going to be edit media, change video, and then I'm gonna click on media right here, and then I'm gonna click on this one, click next, skip and continue, next, done, click review and publish. Or actually, we're gonna go over to ad number 3 really quickly. We're gonna change this one as well, right here, edit, change video, click on media, and then I'm gonna do the final one. Click on next, skip and continue, next, so everything stays the exact same. Then I'm gonna go ahead and click review and publish, and that's going to change all of them. So now we have 4 ads, so all 4 different creatives. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna come over to ad set number 1, and now we're gonna duplicate this 2 more times. So we're gonna have a total of 3 ad sets, and that'll give us a total of 12 kind of creatives, I guess, if you want to call it. So then if we come over here, I'm just gonna do edit name. I'm gonna change this to ad set 2, and then we're gonna change this to ad set number 3, and then boom. So now we have a total of 3 ad sets, and we have a total of 12 creatives, obviously for all, like we have kind of duplicates. And what will happen is now, because we have a campaign budget, it'll take this $25 and it's going to spread it across these 3 different ad sets. And inside of the 3 different ad sets, it's then going to send it into the ads that are performing the best. So we might end up seeing that ad 1 on multiple different ad sets is performing the best. This is honestly kind of the best way I've seen, and the best way to test, in my opinion, to test new ad creatives. And then as you kind of like scale, you want to see which ones, again, are performing the best in terms of sales. You kind of just want to be looking for which ones are giving you the lowest cost per result. You just want to, in general, look for all of the metrics. So if we come over here, we can see our CPM, how many link clicks it's getting for us, our click-through rate, our cost per click. And you just want to be checking all of these kind of statistics to see which ads are performing the best. And then if we do have certain ads that are performing the best, or certain ad sets that are performing the best, so say ad set number 3 is performing better than 2 and 1, what we can do is increase the budget in general on the campaign budget, and what we'll probably end up seeing is Facebook will then start to put more money into ad set number 3, and then same thing goes for like 2 and 1 if these ones were to be doing better. Also, what you can end up doing as well is increasing the budget on, or switching it over to a ad set budget where we can just increase the budget on the current ad set. And another thing what we can do in terms of scaling is, say you're at a point where you are planning on scaling out your ads, what you can end up doing is just duplicating multiple ad sets and then increasing the budget, and this essentially allows you to scale horizontally. Or again, you can just leave it on a campaign budget and just keep increasing this budget right here. And then what you can do is just create multiple different campaigns and then just change little various things inside of each campaign. So we'll say we have campaign 1 and then we have campaign 2, and those are completely different ads. We can then just go ahead and test those, but you want to be constantly testing different ads as you start to scale. And you just want to be cycling through multiple different creatives and always just testing things to see what performs the best. Because if you're just running a certain ad and you're not testing multiple different things, you're not getting that much data, and you're essentially just going to be losing out on a ton of money. So you want to make sure that when you're scaling, obviously you want to be testing as many creatives as possible. But at the start, for complete beginners, create probably 4 to 5 ads, like ad creatives, and then get those set up and then start testing those, see which ones perform the best, so you can see which ad is going to perform the best in terms of conversions, how much you're getting the conversions for, your cost per click, your click-through rate, like everything like that. You want to just look to see all these metrics. And then if you see a certain ad is performing the best, what you can do is just create multiple variations of that ad and then start testing those as well. And then see which ones of those perform the best and then create multiple variations of those. And then again, cycle just continues where you're constantly testing what's currently working. If nothing is working, then you need to go back and create brand new creatives and then test those and then see if any of those work. If one of them do work, then you want to create multiple variations of that and then start testing that. So it just is this big cycle of testing products, seeing how it does, and then creating different versions of those, different variations of those, and improving on those, and then testing those again, right? And it's just a cycle of testing, improving, testing, improving, testing, improving. But that is pretty much everything when it comes to creating ads and setting up your ads inside of Facebook. That's how I set up my ads every single time. So yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.